Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. How are you doing, my love? Are you hydrated? Are you sleeping well? How has your week been? How was your weekend? Are we looking after ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, all the ways? Just checking in. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome for the first time to the Awakening Her podcast. My name is Talia. Welcome, welcome. This is a cozy corner where you can come as you are, whether you're dressed up in your power suit or you're in your comfy pants. You are absolutely welcome here. This is a space for driven seekers, for old souls who know that they are here for big things. This is where we do personal transformation, spiritual mastery, and bringing it all together to really create the life that you desire, the one that you see in your mind's eye, the one that you feel deep in your heart. I am there with you. So today we are talking about something really powerful. We're talking about quantum leaps. If you have been around the community for a while, you know that I'm I don't want to say self-proclaimed quantum leap queen, but I have taught this for years. This was actually the whole reason that this podcast was called the Awakening Her podcast. I will fill you in on that. If you've not heard the story, if you're not in the know of that, I'll let you know what exactly that means, what it has to do with quantum leaping. But this is really powerful. When this was downloaded into me, it was a huge realization. And for any of you that were way back in the day in the old school memberships, you remember when this started coming out, and it was such a powerful, rapid shift that took me, myself, and my community really out of manifestation being this ongoing, vague, kind of, hard to pinpoint type thing into, oh my goodness, I actually understand it. I understand what it means to quantum leap. So we're going to bring in a lot of this stuff today. We are diving into how you can hold the energy of your next level without burning out, without freaking out, without falling back into old patterns, to actually understand what to do. And I just can't wait to dive all into it, because most people make a leap and they can't truly hold it, right? A lot of us can visualize, but maybe not embody, or we all of a sudden surge forward and we kind of freak out and shrink back into old patterns. It's because you're human. I have done this and do this as well, but today we are talking about leaping forward, how to expand, how to really skyrocket into that next level. So if you're feeling that pull to expand, if you're in the middle of a giant upgrade, I'm here for it. You're here for it. We're going to talk about changing our trajectories, changing our timelines, exactly what a quantum leap is, fully anchoring into your next level. And if this is all calling to you and this is what you're really about, and you know you're here for big things and want help integrating it into your path, into your journey so that you know you're moving forward, I highly recommend checking out On the Path. It's my private podcast, my private community. This is where we really bring not just the what do I do, but how do I do it? We integrate it in. We stay on your path of self-development, of transformation, of quantum leaping with bite-sized practices and education so you really understand. We've got meditations, even sleep audios to help reprogram your subconscious. I've got you covered over there. Check out On the Path. In April, the theme is actually quantum leaps and non-logical growth. So if you're all about this, you're going to want to join for April. I've got a link below. You can join for just $11. After that, it's only $27 a month. You can cancel at any time, and it really will help you tangibly, spiritually, energetically move forward. Okay, that's all I've got for you. Let's just dive into today's topic. Take a big sip of your water, get comfy, do a little wiggle, embody into this present moment, and let's dive in. Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm so excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life. My name is Talia Joy, and I am committed to showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to go on a magical journey of spiritual and self-growth to manifest the life you're meant for, we are now besties. Let's dive in. Okay, we're going to start with what is a quantum leap from my perspective, the way that I teach it, the way that I see it intuitively. And if anyone's new here, I am a channel. I channel what I call my team of light. So a lot of times if I say my team shows it to me like this or how it occurs to me, that's where I get this information from. I've been doing this for a long time and have spent a lot of time geeking out with my team on like, how does this work? And all the years of serving people and really, hearing my clients' questions and all of this. It all comes from the team of light. And I'm sure in there's things that I have learned from my spiritual teachers and guides, that I integrate into my teachings, but that's sort of the core of where it comes from. Okay, moving forward. So, what is a quantum leap? I want you to think of what you think of as a quantum leap or an example of somebody who has quantum leapt. You probably think of a giant transformation, right? When someone goes from being unhealthy to overhauling their life and now they're vital and they're feeling good and they eat different and all this. Maybe it's you're on the verge of bankruptcy or someone's in a really hard financial time. And within a couple years, they are in overflow. They're millionaires, right? We think of a quantum leap as going from, in some ways, almost rock bottom into like this phoenix story, the butterfly. And of course, that is a quantum leap. But also a quantum leap is when we are in our normal, and our normal could be a really great life. Maybe we have a family or we have a home or we're doing things we love. We've got good friends. We're living in that place, but something happens where deep down we're like, that's it. Whether it's 2025 is the year I'm doing this or I'm ready to heal. And there's a big internal shift. There's a shift in someone's whole demeanor. So start to imagine a quantum leap from where you are right now and imagine yourself, you've been fully devoting energetically, physically, spiritually, mentally into your goals, into self-love, into creating abundance or success for yourself. And you've really been devoted and you've been healing and moving forward. And I want you to imagine about a year. If you feel more comfortable, it could be like 5 years, but in the shortish term future where you've been devoting and you're in that next level. A quantum leap is a really fast expansion, a really fast change that happens inside and then externally. But the thing is that most people can't hold that energy. And if you are a member of On the Path, we talk so much about the nervous system and expansion because if we can't hold the energy of that bigger level, that more expanded level, we aren't able to sustain it. It's just like if you were lifting weights and you didn't work up at all. There might be a really heavy weight that you even surprise yourself and you can do like a curl, but you can't maintain doing 5 of them, 8 of them, 10 of them, right? Because it's just too heavy. You haven't worked your way up there. So as much as a quantum leap is really fast, there is a recalibration and an expansion that needs to happen. So we are shifting our frequency, we're shifting our vibration, we're shifting our identity. It's not just about the leap, it's about anchoring into a new version of you. So I want to explain it from the perspective of trajectories or timelines. So you might hear people say, timeline jumping, or like I'm on a completely different timeline, or you want to just leap to a different timeline. But without understanding what that means, it's just one of those vague fluff, like it sounds good, but then you go, okay, wait, what do I do? So how I want to describe it is my team shows me it like trajectory. So you are going on a certain trajectory right now. And if you're listening to this, it's a good one. You've done a lot in your life. You've up-leveled a lot, healed a lot. So you're going in a good direction. And if you think of it kind of like physics, if you keep going every day for the rest of your life exactly as you are on a certain path. So you're going along with what your path is right now. If you all of a sudden started meditating every day, that changes your trajectory. So you're going to have certain benefits. If you started walking 20,000 steps a day or whatever is a really good amount, 10,000, that's going to put you on a different trajectory physically, right? If you lift a weight, even if you did 10 push-ups every day, that does change your trajectory of, say, your body. So we are always going along. If you continue with your money habits, if you continue with exactly how you speak to yourself right now, over time, things compound and we continue on one path. So I will use a disturbing example. If you got up all of a sudden tomorrow and started, drinking vodka before 6 a.m., that would have a certain impact. You would shift your trajectory. So if you started eating healthier or in a way that's more aligned with, your true self tomorrow, that changes your trajectory in your health. Contrary, if you decided to go, hardcore and double down on the amount of processed food or processed sugars or alcohol, that's going to change your trajectory. So we're just talking science. We're just talking physically. You are not on a preset path. You have the power to shift timelines. So what I would call a timeline is basically your trajectory. You're on a timeline right now. The amount you pour into your mental health, physical health, spiritual health, that's leading you somewhere. And again, you've made a lot of great changes. You're on a good timeline. And if you desire a quantum leap, in some ways, completely different timeline in one or more areas of life, you have to be the one to shift your point of creation. So I'll expand more into this, but I just want you to first anchor into the mind and remember how we're on a timeline. What we do continues us on our path. If we gently start walking more, we change timelines. If we start thinking about our income differently or money differently, we change timelines. Every decision you make, because right now is the only point of creation, every decision you make sets you on a path. And in the way that right now you're on a certain path, I want you to also now imagine this path being malleable. That because we have free will, every single thing we do slightly shifts our timeline this way, slightly shifts it that way. And it's always in some way, fluid. There's always this fluid energy of creation based on what you're doing right now. You are constantly creating your future based on the choices that you're making today. What you decide, what you do, what you think, what you believe, this is the point of creation. And the reason why most people continue creating the same things is because every day we do the same shit. We have the same habits, we think the same way, we do the same things. Unless you're in a phase of self-development or trying new habits or intending to meditate more or, just generally moving yourself forward, self-growth, personal development. This will change your timeline. That's why you're not the same person you were 5 years ago, is because there are things you've learned. There are new habits you have. There's new awarenesses you have. There are new choices. There are new thoughts that you have chosen to think. You have the power to shift your timeline, and you've already been doing it. So when we talk about a quantum leap, we can do it right now. Every moment is a point of creation. You are constantly creating your future from right now. So to shift your timeline, to quantum leap into a new reality, you first really do need to understand deep in your cells, drop your shoulders, take a deep breath, take it in. You are the creator. Your current energy, your current vibration, your current aura, your decisions, your choices. This is what is determining tomorrow. This is what is determining the timeline that you land on. And again, it's not some fluffy idea. It's real, practical stuff where you shift your energy, you shift your actions in this moment and watch it ripple out into your future. What used to seem impossible, like manifesting your next level, actually becomes inevitable. And I want to share just a really short, trippy story. The last episode I did, I was talking about how I didn't wait to become a leader in manifestation. I showed up in that way. And in the previous episode, I said I, served people at a higher level. I held myself to really high integrity in the way that I did business, in the way that I interact, in the services that I give. I made sure to really be it first. So I said all that in the previous episode. And then just yesterday at the time of recording, I'm checking my email and my business email. They say, congratulations, your podcast is now in the top 40 manifestation category. So I was like, oh, cool. And it's this website called FeedSpot. And they just have, all the charts of podcast feeds or whatever. So they're emailing me saying like, you've made it into the top 40. So I was like, cool. So I click on the thing and I start looking and I go to the manifestation category that they're talking about. And number one is the expanded podcast, as I'm sure many of you have, heard of, or maybe you're part of Lacey's community. It's amazing. Such a legend in the field. The second one is Manifestation Babe, which I'm like, yep, story checks out. That totally makes sense. And third is me, is the Awakening Her podcast. I just posted about it on Instagram. And seriously, what? So it's hilarious how I'm saying, I'm not waiting to be a leader, I show up as one. And then something like that happens that shows me, even if it's just on this one podcast feed, I don't know what Apple says, but it's hilarious that there I am with two of the legends in manifestation with me right under. And I've had people recently go, oh, I was listening to Deepak Chopra's podcast and yours came up as suggested. And I'm like, holy crap, that's literally what I'm talking about. We change our point of attraction. When I start showing up as leader, not only do I serve people better, I create better content, but then it starts mirroring back to me from the world. I didn't make that happen with the stats. I didn't make mine come in after Deepak Chopra's. I don't have any ads out there. I'm not manipulating anything. That's organic, real attraction and growth. When I start to decide to show up as a leader, even though I could say like, I'm just this weirdo empath, left-handed Canadian that, who am I to be a leader of anything? No, I claim it first and then my reality starts mirroring it back. So when we talk about timelines and trajectories, it's really about you changing the point of creation. We can jump train tracks by changing our thoughts, changing our actions, and really starting to be a new energy. This is how we shift our timeline. So I just want to say that I'll make this more practical as we go on, but it is all about the energy that you hold. Holding the energy of our next level without falling back into old patterns, or when we do fall back, we just use our tools, grow through what we go through, and continue moving, continue making another decision from higher self. So when I say holding the energy of your next level, that's different than just sitting there, visualizing it, and then kind of like wah-wah coming back into reality and reacting an old way to money and reacting an old way about yourself or whatever. But then we go over and we have a vision board and we get all inspired, but then we come back. That's not holding the energy. When you leap, you need to learn how to hold it, which is why the nervous system and the deeper healing work comes into it, because we do need to learn how to identify as that next level. Anchoring yourself into the new vibration, into the new vibe, into the new identity. This is about trusting the new timeline and leaping into it first. You go and the universe mirrors it back. You go first and the universe rushes to support you. So if you have been on the path, this is why last month with March, it's all about mindset mastery, reprogramming, and we talked about our identity and really starting to see yourself differently, starting to really decide what facet of your being you want to lead. Does that make sense? So trusting that as I make this decision, it will unfold with a new outcome. So let's make it right down to the ground. If you go for a walk for 10 minutes a day, it will have an impact on your physical health, your mental health. If you walk for 30 minutes a day, that's going to have 3 times the impact. If you meditate every morning or have a mindful moment for just 3 minutes, that sets up your day differently. That will have an impact. So very physically, decide that you're done in the same frequency you have been in the way you want to change, in the thing you want to expand. You're done there. Let's bridge the gap and do something that is a little bit different that will change your timeline. If you start drinking water before coffee, it changes your timeline. If you decide to invest in a mentor, that leaps you into a different timeline because now you're someone who's actively moving forward, or you're working with that person. You see yourself as someone who does that. If you all of a sudden invest with a personal trainer, you become someone who's actively moving forward. So it doesn't mean it always has to be an investment, or it's really nothing and everything. It could be meditating. It could be shifting your thoughts. It could be investing in your future. It could be doing anything that is in line with that timeline. And this is how we do it, because when we do this, it seems like, okay, before we do this, it feels like, what do I do to manifest? And what are the right steps? And does it matter if it's a full moon? And we're kind of like trying to figure it out. But when we take responsibility, when we're the one who gets to decide what we do, and we move out of our current timeline, this is where you lead life. You become the deliberate creator. We don't wait for health, we become health. And you can take small steps. And actually, my team always says that there's no real thing of like big or small steps. It's just physics. So if from where you are now, 10 minutes of journaling every day would change your life, that's a quantum leap. It doesn't have to be investing $100,000 and 75 minutes a day. And like, it doesn't have to be outside of what you can do. It's really about just doing it, expanding, shifting that timeline. So I want to remind you that your next level is already within you. The spark in your mind's eye, the inspiration, the visualization that you can see of your next level, the you that feels more free, the you that feels more confident, the you that feels bigger and more expanded in this experience, that feels healthier and more grounded and more focused and devoted and in self-love. That timeline is already within you. And I used to recoil when people would say this, because I'd be like, no, but really, like if you look at my bank account, or if you look at my this or that, facts, right? I'm not there. But if you can see it, if you can feel even a fleck, if deep down you know somehow, some way that you're meant for that, then it's already within you. And Spirit wants to say that it's like the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. The possibility of the butterfly was there the entire time. When the caterpillar was doing caterpillar things, going about its life, that trajectory, that timeline of butterfly was already there. That's what they mean. That's what we mean. It already exists within you. It's a matter of choosing it, committing to it, and deciding you're ready to hold it. The next level of abundance, of wealth, of success, of peace, of deep soul alignment, you're already on that path. You're already on that timeline. Drop your shoulders, take a deep breath, own that. You're already doing such a good job. So this is what I feel for you right now. You're made for this. So I want to say that physically, tangibly, if you think of even just the law of attraction, which is only one of the universal laws that really influences physical manifestation, but if you think of the law of attraction, it's basically a mirror. You are always attracting back who you are being. So you've heard me say before, you don't manifest what you want, you manifest who you are being. Wayne Dyer says you don't manifest what you want, you manifest who you are. So when we shift internally, when we decide to show up for ourselves, when we decide that we're going to start loving ourselves more, or being more self-compassionate, or thinking differently about money, or going for walks, Instantly in that moment, we are attracting a different outcome. I've already alluded to this, but I'm now talking laws of the universe. In that moment, if you're in the shower and you roll your shoulders back and you embody that higher self, that future self, and you get a surge through you of like, ooh, I can feel that power. In that moment, you are attracting the things that go into that version of you's life. So you're attracting solutions, you're attracting clarity, you're attracting miracles, you're attracting abundance, you're attracting love, because in that moment, you are feeling it. So as you're out on the walk and you're like, breathe in even just a bit of that higher self, that self-love, that more expanded energy, in that minute, in that moment, you are attracting a new reality. It's that physical. The moments you spend feeling expanded are moments you spend attracting miracles. So that's another way that we can think about our timeline just really tangibly. If every night before bed I intend for tomorrow, that's going to have an impact. If every day when I get dressed, I just tell myself, I love you. If I do the Ho'oponopono prayer, if I do inner child work, if I believe in myself and go after the position, if I do yoga, if I do breath work, all these things have a positive impact. They change our timeline. So it is very tangible. Quantum leaping is coming all of a sudden from a different place where we choose to step into those feelings, those emotions, those habits that are already within us. So I know that it can feel big, and it might feel hard to believe that you could be the version of you that already has what you want. I do understand that. I get asked all the time, like, how do I feel abundant when I'm not abundant? How do I feel healthy when I'm not healthy? But it's already within you. So if you need to journal to access it, if you need to meditate, recalibrating your nervous system, visualization, but most importantly, choosing it, feeling that version of you ripple through your body. This is what awakening her is. Her, for those of you that identify as her, or it could be they, him, whatever it is, she, that is the version of you that is next up. That is the quantum leap version of you, her. What would she do? How would she act here? How does she move through life? What does she eat? What does she invest in? How does she spend her moments? How does she look after her body? Awakening her, awakening that version of you. So it can feel big, but they already exist within you. It's a matter of extracting, like, oh yeah, what would they do here? What are their daily habits? How do they invest in themselves? Or how do they keep themselves on the path? And then awakening that version of you, feeling it in your cells, learning how to hold it. And so as we start to wrap up, I'm going to give you a practice in a second, but this is what I feel for you right now. You are literally made for this. The butterfly blueprint is already within you. Your soul isn't leading you astray. You're not on any sort of wrong path. In fact, you're on the right path. You're right here, right now, remembering this information, bringing it up, getting inspired. It's your soul is calling you forward into a bigger version of yourself that's already there waiting for you, waiting to guide you, waiting to help you, waiting to plant inspiration and coincidences and synchronicities. And it will be uncomfortable sometimes. It will cause you to stretch. It will cause you to come back to the work and go, okay, I'm worth it. I can do this. But this change is massive. And you've got this. You were literally meant for this in this lifetime. So don't spend any more moments doubting if your next level is available to you, in trying really hard to move away from not trusting yourself or trusting in life, and instead take all that energy and pour it into what you want out of this life. It's not going to be the perfect time. It's not about waiting for all the clarity. It's about deciding that this is it right now. This is your moment. Anchor into your next level and trust that it's already unfolding. And my spirit team at one point years ago was saying how, if you can see it in your mind's eye, It's their way of like dangling it along, like keeping in a good way, like keeping you going on your path. Like you can see it, you can start to taste it, you want it so bad. That's pulling you forward. That means you're literally meant for it. They would never plant something vividly in your mind's eye, give you deep desires on your heart if it was never meant to happen. That would be like a cosmic joke. Like that would be cruel, right? It's actually meant for you. So it may not be perfect. It's going to be messy sometimes, but this is your moment to anchor into your next level. This is the point of creation. Your soul already knows this. You know this on a deep level, and you've so got this. So we're going to lock it in. Here's an integration practice before we wrap up. I want you to close your eyes, or if you're driving, please don't. If you cannot close your eyes safely, just take a moment, take a deep breath, relax, let it out, let go of the tension in your jaw. Start to feel into the version of you that is already living your next level on that higher timeline. And take another deep breath in. What do they know? What does she feel? How are they being different? I want you to imagine if there's an aura or a color or a glow to this version of you, what they feel like, what energy leads them through their day. Now, on your next breath in, imagine yourself literally sipping that energy into your body. With every deep breath in, you are sucking in that energy of that next level version. And every exhale can be some relief, letting go. Roll your shoulders back, embody that energy, let it sink deep into your cells. And through your eyes, experience life as them. Make a decision right now from this version of you. Remember, quantum leaps are huge changes that happen in the small everyday moments. Your next level is already yours. Feel yourself hooking into that now. And know that even from this moment, which is different than 5 minutes ago, different than an hour ago, you're attracting new things, new miracles. So take a deep breath in and flush it all out. Open your eyes. If you close them, remember who you are. You're doing such a great job. And if you really want to anchor into this with more tangible practices and more training and quantum leaps on the path, it's the perfect time to join. We would welcome you in with open arms. You can check the show notes below for that so we can explore quantum leaps and non-logical growth together in April. And if any of you are ready for a more deep dive, a more personalized approach, and you are ready for mentorship, I would love to have you in my new 2-month breakthrough mentorship. The information for that is also below. So I cannot wait to support you. Thank you for being here with me today. If you really enjoy this show, especially if you've listened more than once, I would be so honored if you left a review on Apple or on your podcast player. It really is like the most that you can do to support the show. And I so appreciate it. I appreciate your time and for supporting the show. And I will see you in the next episode. Okay, have a great day. Bye. Hey, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I really hope that it served you. So before you go, I want to share something with you. If you're loving these conversations about self-growth and healing and moving forward, and you're really ready for more tools, more implementation, more integration, more structure, more what do I do? I invite you over to On the Path. This is my only private community, and honestly, it's the place to be if you want to integrate, if you want to deepen your journey, and you find my work helpful. Here's the vibe: bite-sized practices, ongoing support, deep dive episodes, weekly practices, monthly challenges, literally just keeping you on your path, showing up for yourself day by day, week by week, month by month. So this is where you really put it into action, and I've got your back with these assignments, tools, practices, shifts, deep dives, meditations, journal prompts, and literally everything you could need to carve out your unique journey of self-growth, self-healing, and transformation. So I'm not going to go on and on. If you feel called, you feel called. And if you check below, because you made it all the way to the end of this, you'll find a link to join On the Path for the first month for only $11. So after that, it's just $27 a month, and you can go at any time. Okay, my love, I genuinely hope this episode lit you up, and I can't wait to welcome you over to On the Path, and I cannot wait to see you also in the next episode. Thanks so much, and have a great day.